is afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, when is your interview?
So it's in the 4th of March.
4th of March. So that gives you enough time to prepare.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me start by asking you that for Indian tennis, the last week was very important. What are the two important things which happened?
So the first was in a first of its kind. I think Sumit Nagal beat a seeded player.
Are you sure it was the first of its
No,
kind?
so it was after a long time. I think it happened once before also. And so Rohan Bopanna became the doubles rank number 1.
So was that the first time it was happening?
No, sir.
Then what was important about his becoming the world number 1?
So his important was that he was not even seeded. He was an unseeded player.
It was at the age of 43.
Yes, sir. Rohan Bopanna is.
So you should highlight that.
Yes, sir.
When is Engineers Day celebrated and whose honor?
So I think it is celebrated on M. Vishweswaraya's birthday. So I'm not sure of the exact date.
No problems. Okay. Where is Mariupol and why has it been in the news?
So Mariupol is a prominent port in Ukraine, sir. And so it is in news because it is a matter of contestation between Ukraine and Russia.
Okay. We often hear the words wasting and stunting.
Yes, sir.
So can you throw light on what wasting and stunting are?
So wasting and stunting are measures of are in fact parameters of measuring nutritional deficiency in children. So wasting is less weight for age, and so stunting is less height for age, sir. So there are, I think, 35% of stunted children in India. So that is a matter of concern.
Which is the mission which has been set up to tackle this?
So it was called ICDS before, now it is called POSHAN, National Nutrition Mission.
Are these same or different? ICDS has now been subsumed under POSHAN Abhiyan.
So they are different because ICDS particularly focus on 0 to 6 years early childhood care, and POSHAN also includes older children, sir.
Just older children, or does it include others as well?
Sir, I would have to read about that, sir.
Please do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My last question to you is, what are Ramsar sites and how many sites are there in India?
So Ramsar sites are international wetlands of international importance. They are designated under the Ramsar Convention, which was signed in 1971. So there are 75 sites in India, as per the last reading that I had, sir.
Good. That's right.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Abhimanyu.
Yes, sir.
You share a name with a mythological figure.
Yes, sir.
Who was he?
Sir, Abhimanyu was the son of Pandava Prince Arjun and Subhadra. So he was the nephew of Pandava, sir.
Okay. You have a background in chemical engineering.
Yes, sir.
And that too from Delhi.
Yes, sir.
What are the main uses, we can say, in which chemical engineering can be helpful in tackling pollution?
So certain technologies do come to my mind. First is this green technology and green chemistry, which help in fuel cells, for example. Hydrogen fuel cells are an aspect of technology in which chemical engineering principles are used. And so hydrogen, as we know, is touted as the fuel of the future. So smog towers are also one such technology in which chemical engineering principles are used. And so the new fuels that have come out, the new fuel standards, BS6, and the commensurate changes in the engine have also been accelerated or fast-paced by chemical engineering, sir.
How many types of pollution can you categorize?
So we can use various parameters, like AQI has 8 pollutants. But sir, with regards to the type of pollution, sir, there is sound pollution, there is air pollution, there is water pollution, there is soil pollution. Yes, sir.
I ask this so that you can throw some light on your chemical engineering in tackling all these types.
Right, sir. Sorry, sir, I focused on just air pollution.
Yes.
So water pollution is an area where chemical engineering can be significantly used. So I think the the CO2 sequestration model is also heavily dependent on chemical engineering. And so the use of BOD and COD, those parameters also, we had a course on water pollution and water resource. So that is also where chemical engineering is used.
How do you think your engineering background will help you in civil administration?
Sir, as engineers, we are trained to optimize while working for a solution within constraints, sir. So I think, sir, that is an area of overlap in the civil services also. In administration also, you have to optimize while looking for a solution. Yes, sir. So I think, and my analytical skills, I'm a trained engineer, so my analytical skills and my proficiency with technology is also one area. I think our economy is transitioning towards a digital age, sir. And so I think as engineers would have a slightly better understanding of technology or proficiency of technology.
My final question to you,
Right, sir.
what would you prioritize as a civil administrator? 3. Name any 3.
So can I take
Yeah.
5 seconds? So I think first would be education. Although primary education and secondary education are good, so higher education is something that India still lacks in the research. And so second is environment. India can become a hub for green energy, and we also have the net zero targets to focus upon. And so the third would be, I think, sir, women empowerment, sir.
And what about the common citizen?
So I think all these issues pertain to the common citizen as well, sir.
So you should start with that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Abhimanyu,
Yes, sir.
your optional was political science and international relations.
Yes, sir.
Let us start with international relations. What is the problem between Iran and Pakistan? There was some news about some.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
What was it?
So Iran attacked areas of Pakistan, particularly the bases of Jaish al-Adl.
Hmm?
Jaish al-Adl, the bases of Jaish al-Adl, Iran claimed that it attacked the bases.
Which area of Pakistan?
So Balochistan, sir.
Balochistan.
Right,
Okay.
sir. It has been going under some insurgency also,
Mhm.
and so Pakistan also retaliated in the next 48
And
hours.
what has been the stand of China?
Sorry, sir.
What has been stand of China
So
on this issue?
China has been trying to de-escalate.
China
the
is
tensions.
friendly to both Iran
Yes,
and Pakistan.
Yes, sir. So China has been trying to de-escalate the position. So while India's stand was that,
Was there any official statement from China?
sir, I'm not sure. I'm not having any recollection of having read an official statement,
Uh-huh.
sir. But I remember reading India's official stand, which was that India supports.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
No issue. Why do India oppose CPEC?
So because it is a direct violation of India's sovereignty and territorial
How?
integrity.
That
So
is
be-
in Pakistan?
No, sir. So projects of CPEC pass through Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which has always been an integral part of India.
Okay. Which part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir?
So Gilgit Baltistan.
Gilgit-Baltistan.
Yes, sir.
Gilgit-Baltistan, Kashmir, Jammu, these are all different regions.
Right, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
The part of Kashmir which is occupied by
Pakistan.
Pakistan is known as Pak-occupied Kashmir.
Yes, sir.
Gilgit-Baltistan is a different region.
So Gilgit Baltistan is the northwest part of Kashmir.
So it's passing through which area?
So it's passing through the Gilgit Baltistan region in the northwest Kashmir region.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Where does it end, CPEC?
So,
In Pakistan.
so I believe it ends in Karachi.
Hmm?
In Karachi, near there is a Gwadar port also. That is also part of CPEC and BRI.
So what the strategic importance of that Gwadar port
Sir, it
for China?
Sir, it bypasses China's Malacca dilemma to a certain extent, that it opens a new trade route for China, that it can undertake trade.
Strategic.
So it can monitor Indian Ocean. So it opens a port for them in the Indian Ocean, which has always been a strategic backyard of
It
India.
gives direct access to Arabian Sea.
Arabian Sea, yes sir.
China's dependence over South China Sea, then
Yes,
passing through Malacca Strait would
Yes,
be
sir.
over if it gets direct access to Arabian Sea.
Yes sir, that's their Malacca dilemma.
Hmm?
That's their Malacca dilemma. It is commonly referred to as the Malacca dilemma, yes sir.
Anyway, there was some friction over stand of Mali vis-a-vis India and China.
Right sir.
Hmm?
Yes sir.
And there were a lot of noise in Indian media. Do you think that it was disproportionate noise? India is too big and Mali is too small.
So social
India
media.
should take care of smaller island nation.
Smaller or not, I think India cannot disregard any of its neighbors. India does follow neighborhoods first policy. India is always the stronger country in the region, but India has always helped, extended a helping hand towards the neighbors. So with regards to social media, I think social media conversations do blow
Not
things.
just social media, the print media, the electronic media, the national papers.
Right, sir. So
I'm
there are
not talking
Yes, sir.
gossiping on social media.
So there are some genuine concerns that the newly elected president is taking a pro-China stand. The newly elected president Mohammad Mizu spearheaded an India Out campaign during his protest. That is a
But
part
does
of
it
his,
mean that if the present government of Malay is
Yes, sir.
taking pro-China stand,
Yes,
that
sir.
India should kill tourism industry of that small island nation?
So that is, I think, that has been blown way out of proportion. India, the diplomatic stand of India has not been such, sir.
Uh-huh.
I think India is responding to it diplomatically very well.
Okay.
I think so. Again, media does blow things a little bit out of proportion, but sir, diplomacy does not work that way. It has to be
So
diplomatic.
in your opinion, the media went overboard.
Little bit, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir, a little bit.
So India should not, try to kill some economy or some small nation.
So
They will become our enemy forever.
yes, sir. India has always been a supporter of international law, and it has
Okay.
always been supporter of peace in the neighborhood, sir.
Okay.
India has always been a supporter of growing together as a neighborhood. So,
Okay.
sir, those actions do not fall in line with
So
that.
how
vision,
did
sir.
India help Sri Lanka when Sri Lanka was facing serious economic crunch? Very recently.
Yes, sir. Sir, in 2022, India helped with the line of credit, approximately $400 million.
Okay.
And so
One line of credit.
yeah,
and
one line of credit was there. And sir, India also became one of its guarantors to the IMF.
Guarantor.
India lobbied with
and
IMF.
one more.
So I'm not remembering any more of that. There were more things, but I'm not remembering any more of them.
Sri Lanka had no money to buy fuel.
Yes, sir.
So what did India do?
So India sent humanitarian aid, sir. So that was there. Yes, sir.
Please.
Thank you, sir.
You've written your mother is a housewife.
Yes, sir.
Some people say housewife is not the right word, it should be homemaker.
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
So I just didn't give it that much thought. That might have been a mistake, sir.
Think?
Yes, sir. So homemaker is the right word.
Why?
So because actually the responsibilities of a homemaker is much more than they are touted to be. So this kind of language and terminology does propagate some stereotypes about women, that their roles are not important, that they're hidden work.
Isn't the male of the family also a homemaker?
So I think home is something that is created by all of the people that living there.
If I say housewife is a wrong word, homemaker is also a wrong word. And I tell you, think of a new word.
So I'm not able to think right now.
All right. As a student of PSIR,
Right, sir.
distinguish between political system and polity.
So political system would entail a lot of other organizations as well as like civil society organizations would also come into the political
And
system.
polity?
And so polity refers to the systems of the state, sir. Like the state machineries would refer to polity, sir. So political system is a wider term than polity, sir.
Why do you think the ancient Greeks focused so much on polity and politics and not on things like maybe economy, economy or sociology or science? Why was the ancient Greek political thought centered mainly around polity?
So because philosophy started as a sub-discipline of political science, sir. That time focus was on polity because it was the major concern because their trade was flourishing decently well, sir. I think they were trading with other civilizations.
What does trade have to do with polity?
So the major concern in the ancient ancient
Why?
Greece
That is
was-
the point I'm asking.
Yes, sir. So the major concern in ancient Greece was who was to rule, who is the competent person to rule, and so that is why all the debate and the.
Do you think it's because the Greek life was centered around the city-state?
Yes, sir.
Could be that?
Yes, sir. Athens and Sparta were city-states, sir.
Secularism in India. Now, before the 42nd Amendment, when the word secular came into the preamble,
Right, sir.
do you think India was secular before that or wasn't?
So definitely, India has always been secular. India's civilization has always been secular. The inclusion of Article 25 in your constitution is a testament to India's secular credentials since.
Only Article 25?
So there are a lot of articles.
Tell me three.
So there is Article 44 in the DPSPs, which provides for a uniform civil code. However, it has not been implemented yet, but so that provides for a secular character. So Article 19 also entails freedom of speech to everybody. Article 26, 27, 28.
Suppose some government with a huge majority in parliament decides to remove the word secular from the preamble. Will it stand in a court of law?
No, sir. So secularism is a basic feature of the constitution, and so according to the Keshwanand Bharti judgment, constitutional amendment is limited to. It does not extend to the basic structure, sir.
Well, my last question to you. As somebody who belongs to Haryana,
Yes, sir.
what do you think of the developmental trajectory of Gurugram as compared to Faridabad?
So both, I think Gurugram has developed much more because of the concentration of the service industry right there. So Faridabad is known for its manufacturing base, although Gurgaon also had manufacturing base, sir, in Maruti. But sir, I think proximity to airport is also
Absolutely.
one reason. Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Abhimanyu,
Yes, sir.
continuing from where you just left about Maruti and all, why all of these plants choose to be in Haryana? There are lots of automobile plants in Haryana, Manesar and all of these areas. Why?
So first it was the probably because of the proximity to the national capital is one reason. And sir, Haryana promised a good raw material base and labor was there, sir, who were willing to work, sir. And sir, third would be, I think there was some kind of lobbying also that happened, that might have happened, sir.
You're not sure of it.
I'm not sure of the lobbying part, sir.
Okay. Tell me, do you think India behaves as a bully in its neighborhood, especially with the nations who are smaller in size?
Not at all, sir. So, because that is, sir, a perception because India is the largest amongst the neighborhood. It is the biggest economy. It has the largest military in the neighborhood. So these perceptions come from power asymmetry. And I think India's actions have always been to help the neighborhood. Like we were always traditionally the first responders in the neighborhood. So there have been some actions that I think isolated actions which could have been done better, but I would still not call them as bullying, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me some cross-border electricity agreements with India and its neighborhood?
Yes, sir. So one we have with Nepal, sir, and so there are power plants in Bhutan also, sir. With them also we have a cross-border electricity agreement. So I'm not sure if we have it with Bangladesh or not, but I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. And with Pakistan?
So there is the Indus Water Treaty which gives us the right to make some electricity, but I'm not sure whether we have an electricity agreement or not.
Okay. What do you think India's policy should be towards Pakistan? It should be changing with the changing times.
So depends on how Pakistan behaves, sir, in terms of cross-border terrorism and cross-border infiltration, sir. So I think India's stand with respect to Pakistan currently is really apt, sir, because terrorism and talks cannot go together, sir.
There is this huge demand from Punjab ministers, sitting ministers even, that stance on Pakistan should be changed.
So there can be stakeholder consultations, but sir, ultimately it is a matter of national security as well and international relations. So sir, I think that ultimate command is in the External Affairs Ministry and the Prime Minister's office, sir.
Okay, you come from Rohtak.
Yes, sir.
Last I heard about Rohtak was the Jat Andolan going over there. What went wrong?
So there was a failure of the state machinery to control the riots. There must have been, so sorry, I used the wrong word. I think it was protests gone wrong. I would not use the term riots, sir. The protests that were happening were peaceful to a certain extent. Then some outsiders were also involved. So primarily it was the failure of the state machinery and the lack of consultation, the lack of grievance redressal. And sir, on the protesters' part, yes, sir, peaceful means should have been used because our constitution provides for peaceful agitations under Article 19, sir.
Okay, you said a failure of state machinery.
Yes, sir.
You as a DM, what you would have done?
So can I take 20 seconds, you think? So I think I would call for in the initial when
Tell me point wise, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I think I would have called on more resources from adjoining districts. I would call for help, as in I would call for more forces. So second, I would consult the stakeholders. I would engage with the stakeholders very much more. I think that was missing. There was no effective communication. And sir, I would place in emergency services at crucial points, sir. And sir, if needed, there would have been blockades at certain points. Yes, sir. That would be my measure.
Okay. ABHIMANYU, you are also into this chess.
Yes, sir.
How many GMs we have currently?
Sir, I think we have 84.
84.
GMs.
And how many from Haryana?
None from Haryana, sir.
Why?
Sir, I think it is a matter, it is a grim thing, sir. But sir, I think Haryana does lack chess models, chess role models. Haryana is doing good in sports, but yes, sir, in chess it does need to do better.
Okay, what's the epicenter of chess in India?
Sir, the southern states are doing quite well. Tamil Nadu particularly can be called the epicenter of chess. I'm not sure whether it is called the epicenter of chess, but based on the number of GMs that we have, and the first GM, Vishwanathan Anand, was from there. So based on that, sir, Tamil Nadu can be called epicenter.
Okay, my last question. Why a lot of openings are called as Indian openings?
So I would, so there is the French-Indian defense, there is the traditional Indian opening.
Queen's Indian opening is there.
Yes, sir. Queen's Indian.
So why?
King's Indian is there.
Yes.
So I would have to read about that, sir. I'm sorry. I will
Thank
think
you.
about that. Thank you, sir.
May I take 2 seconds? You mentioned something called hypertrophy.
Yes, sir.
To me, it sounded like an illness. Hypertension, hyper something. Why did you say muscle training?
So because the hypertrophy training is exactly the kind of training that I do. So muscle training can be divided into 3 subcategories, which is strength training, endurance training, and hypertrophy training.
That's what I was getting.
Did you have a look at yourself in the mirror in the morning?
You're looking very disheveled.
Yes. Stubble, the hair is not properly combed.
So I was
You should have worn a coat.
Yes, sir. So I forgot my blazer at a friend's place, sir.
Anyway, for the big
Yes.
day, you need to be much better
Yes, sir.
turned out.
Cosmetic things would be taken care of, sir.
Yes. And secondly, you have to be much more aware of current events. And thirdly, please don't give wrong answers.
Okay, sir.
They will immediately deduct points, marks from your that. twice you gave wrong answers. Can you tell me when?
So no, sir.
So one was Sumit Nagal, that it was the first win. It wasn't.
So that slipped out of my.
And
mouth,
yes, okay, but that gives a wrong impression.
Yes,
Either
sir.
say you don't know. It's better to say that you don't know.
Yes, sir.
And the second was when you talked about Poshan Abhiyan being the same as ICDS. It is not. These are two separate.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you said Poshan Abhiyan is the same as ICDS.
Poshan Abhiyan is an umbrella.
Umbrella.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
these are the kind of things which will bring you down.
Yes, sir.
So
Sorry.
please be much more aware of this.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Your shoes should match.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll wear black shoes for the
Yeah.
one interview. Yes, sir.
And secondly, as sir has pointed out, you should avoid guesswork. If in case you want to make a guess, you can seek permission.
Yes, sir.
That I am not sure, but if you allow, I can make a guess.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
All the best. Stay focused on the question,
Yes, sir.
and your answer should be tailor-made to the question.
Yes, sir.
No lateral movements.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I'll try that. Thank you, sir.
Abhimanyu, one last thing. Stay formal in the choice of words. Twice or thrice you said yeah, obviously. है ना?
Okay,
Even the panelist can be informal with the choice of word. You should be sticking to the formal choice
Yes, sir.
of words.
Sorry, sir. I could have done better.
Just Eddie.
But
Thank you, sir.
overall, a
All
good
the
show.
best.
All the best.
Thank you,
All the
sir.
best.
Thank you, sir.